This is the sick bay. All ill or injured crew members are brought here for treatment. It seems everyone in a red shirt ends up in here eventually, or at least what's left of them. Stella is getting treatment for her back injury. You should be ashamed of yourself for jumping on her like that, you baby. Jebba is an interesting-looking fellow. That is, if you think a melted purple marshmallow with an internal skeleton is interesting. He's the main research attendant here in the sick bay. Apparently, the doctor is way busy as he completely ignores you. It's a medibunk. This is where all ill or injured crew members are treated. It's also where they bring all the guys in the red shirts, or what's left of them, after they've suffered their inevitable calamities. This is a DNA sequencer. During a starship's travels, many different organisms and artifacts are discovered, and a DNA sequencer can come in quite handy in analyzing them. But mostly it just gets used to make sure the food replicators are working properly, and not brewing up anything that might hatch and grow inside you, for instance. Many things rest on the center console. Most of them are merely non-functional screen dressing. Pretty cool looking, eh? It's a cabinet. It's just a crate. It feels slightly gritty. You suppress an urge to dust it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. The sequencer is for use by trained personnel only. Obviously, you don't fit that description. I'm afraid I can't allow you to use it.
Come on, Jebba, be a pal. Who'll know?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilco. It's a StarCon regulation.
Jeez, Jebba, who's gonna know? Let me try this one thing. I'll be out of your way. No one will find out.
I don't know, Mr. Wilco. I'm not one to break regulations. I really don't think it's a good idea.
I swear, it'll only take a minute. We're out in the middle of nowhere. No one will find out. And I'll tell you what, anytime you want it, one free plunge job, day or night. What do you say?
Well, I don't know.
It'll only take a minute or two, really. Come on, Jebba, be a pal.
Well, okay, but just this once. If anyone finds out I'm sunk, then I'll come looking for you to take it out on. Keep that in mind.
No problem. I'll be done in a flash.
I really don't know why I'm doing this.
Yuck! It's the hair you pulled from Nigel's personal grooming assistant. It looks vaguely like your hiney after it's been chewed out by your boss. It's your standard DNA sequencer. This is the program card you got from sickbay.
Neat. I've always wanted to try one of these on the compost. Oh, hi, Stellar. I hope your back's feeling better.
They just finished treating me, and it is starting to feel better. However, I was told to lay off rescuing people for a while, especially you. So, did you have any luck?
I got some information from the sample I ran through the DNA sequencer. When I tried it, all I got was a name. All it said after that was that the file is closed. I wonder why that is.
I don't know for sure, Roger, but it seems a bit suspicious. When a file is marked like that, there's usually a very good reason. Most frequently, it indicates the file is closed for intelligence purposes, or it's legally sealed by some judicial body. In the case of those tubs of guts that grabbed you, I'd have to say it's not a government agency directly behind it. It sounds more like someone with access from the outside to a friend or two inside. A more paranoid person might say this smells way wrong.
Then again, when did you last change your socks?
If the files are sealed, then we have nothing to go on.
True. The only thing I can think of is that they may be accessible by jacking into cyberspace. I've never done it, but I know it can be done.
So I guess this means you won't be trying it first. I'd love to try it, but I can't since we don't know how.
Well, actually, I read it can be done with the help of a cyber jack and headset and a cyberspace jack interface module. The article said there are several things to access out there and that there's a vast library of files to browse. It said that the Information Superhighway project is a little behind schedule, but that there are some operative areas. Other than that, I don't have a clue as to how we can gain any information about them.
So you think this cyberspace thing could work?
Well, I can only tell you what I've read. Navigating it takes a little patience, but I think it's the only option you have. I don't know if you'll locate a cyberjack and headset. Because of the delays in the project, they've become more like collector's items than marketable, functionable products.
We do have cyberjack modules built into the compost.
That's true. Of course, we won't know anyway without the jack.
That bites. I wonder where we could find one of those.
I wish I knew, Roger. There must be some place.
Attention! We are now orbiting the Delta Berxilon 5 colony as requested by StarCon. Most of you know your assignments as they have been broadcast to your composts. Please represent StarCon properly. Kilbasa, out.
You better get moving since you don't know yet what your assignment is. I have some checking around to do. We'll talk later.
Thanks, Stellar. I'll see you soon. Maybe we can work in that dinner.
Your quarters are cozy and intimate, yet spacious. That's one of the advantages of living in a converted cargo hold. Your kitchen is in here, complete with garbage disposal, solid waste regenerator, and cockroaches. Somebody told you that Venusian mini blinds would look good in here. Then again, somebody told you that you look great under fluorescent lights. Why do all these starships come with shimmery sheets? What's so futuristic and wonderful about shimmery sheets? They wake you up at night. They're cold and slippery. And the worst thing is getting up every morning with sequins imprinted all over your face. What's up with that? This table is supposed to be used for paperwork and gracious dining. Since you do neither, you've found it makes a great place to stash all this junk you've collected over the years. Ordinarily, your closet contains clothes. At the moment, though, you're using your clothes as knickknacks. Holy cow! It's your Golden Mop Award for your feats of daring do in Space Quest 1. You saw this detailed die-cast model of an early StarCon Solar Scout in Milky Way today, StarCon's in-flight magazine. It seemed like a great investment at the time. You glance in the mirror. For a moment, you can almost see a silk-clad brunette overacting in a stone tower. Ah, your old Xenon army knife from Space Quest 1, in which you destroyed the powerful star generator which had fallen into the hands of the evil kleptomaniac Sarians.
Kryptonite lamp. Sapping. Power. Must replace bulb. Some day.
That's odd, you don't remember having a second pair of pants? Maybe you've got an evil twin from a parallel universe walking around the ship naked. These are your boots. Wait a second, you're already wearing your boots. We named the game after these. You know, Space Quest socks. It's a medical reference of janitor-specific ailments, diseases of the genitalia. You've been meaning to do this laundry for several months. Now it's permanently stuck to the floor. Wow, it's your official employment rejection letter from Sierra Online at the end of Space Quest 3. It just says, "Not a chance," and it's signed by Ken Williams. It's your life savings. Hey, here's that pack of matches you stole from the Eulance Flats bar when you returned to Space Quest 1 during the time travel sequence in Space Quest 4. It's a discarded cigar stub from the Galaxy Galleria in Space Quest 4. Hey, it's the Pocket Pal terminal you filched from an abandoned land speeder on Xenon during Space Quest 4. Whoa, it's the star generator remote control you found aboard the Sarian ship during Space Quest 1. Wow, it's the old translating gadget you used to communicate with the subterranean alien back on the planet Corona in Space Quest 1. Too bad they don't make those little dilithium watch batteries anymore. Ooh, it's your old Autobucks card from your shopping spree at the Galaxy Galleria after you saved the latex babes from that hideous sea slug in Space Quest 4. It's expired, unfortunately, but then you don't need much money aboard the deep ship. Besides, people would talk if they saw you dressed that way again. Say it's the old hint book you found in the bargain bin at the software store in Space Quest 4. Looky, it's your old Labion Terror Beast mating whistle from Space Quest 2. It's your food replicator. Technically, it's not a replicator at all. It's a wormhole into the restaurant dimension. Your food replicator is a nightmare of pooled sticky stuff, dried-on gunk, dents, dings, and roach droppings. In fact, the computer's self-survival circuitry cut in days ago and turned off service to your room. That mop is a piece of your history. You would no sooner carry it around than you would your cigar butt. Don't pick it up. You've already broken it several times. Now the port stabilizer flange is out of configuration by 5.2%, which could result in a warp core breach. Now you've done it. You've really done it. The surface of the mirror feels cold and hard, like glass, yet you can see yourself in it. Strange. Leave it alone, it's not a toy. Besides, you'd probably cut yourself. Like last time. There's no reason to open the blinds. There's nothing to see out there except billions of the same old strange new worlds, ho-hum new life, and new civilizations, and lots of stupid places for insane, death-wishing daredevils to boldly go where no insane, death-wishing daredevils have gone before. We didn't make this game just so you could crawl into bed and go back to sleep. Be productive. You're perfectly comfortable in the pair of pants you're already wearing. Leave them where they are. They're positioned just right for making it appear as though you simply dissolved into your bed. They would make a very effective weapon against any foe. Unfortunately, you can't bear to pick them up and be that close to them for any length of time. By now, they're probably stiffer than Mr. Spock. Now's no time to catch up on your reading. Picking up your clothes? Damn it, Roger, you're a janitor, not a responsible adult. You won't need it. It's reminding you of your inadequacy just fine where it is. You won't need that buckazoid on board. Save it. Put it towards your education. You've long since used up all the matches in this book. The cover is lying around as a souvenir. That cigar butt is a piece of your history. You would no sooner carry it around than you would your golden mop. The Pocket Pal will be of no use to you whatsoever. It's AC, and the ship is DC. Unless there happens to be a star generator in the immediate vicinity, this remote won't be of any use to you whatsoever. And there isn't, so there won't. Don't bother with it. The batteries are dead, and there's no alien language here to translate. You won't need to take the Autobucks card. Here on the Deep Ship 86, there's no need for money. Everything's free. It's kind of like a Royal Caribbean cruise, only without the aerobics classes. You won't need that hint book. You've already won Space Quest 4, haven't you? You won't be needing the whistle.
Once upon a time, you really meant something to me. You were a symbol of my bravery, of my importance to StarCon. Now you're just a constant reminder of the glory that once was mine. Roger, just pawn in chess game of StarCon.
Hey, don't put your mouth on that.
Why don't you look into that facing thing? Ah, memories. This really helped out in Space Quest 1. I just don't understand why it cuts me better than it does other things.
You can curse at the rejection letter all you like, but the decision has already been made. The buckazoid is silent. That's odd. Usually, money talks.
Hey, here's a match for you. My face and your spatially inverted tetryon particle. Well, you had to be there.
Don't put that cigar butt in your mouth. You know where this one has been. Don't bother talking to it. It's just a dumb terminal. There isn't the remotest chance it will respond to you.
Hey, translate this.
Okay, hold it right there. Your words cause everything to become speechless. How dynamic of you. Conversing with the hint book is a sign of multidimensional dementia. Do you see any Labion terror beasts around here? No? Then there's no need to blow it. Looks like you have a message waiting for you.
Wow, a message for me. I must be getting popular. I wonder what it is.
Wilco, Commander Kilbasa here. I have a special assignment for you. A crew person of special skills is required on Delta Berxilon 5. In the spirit of StarCon cooperation, we have decided to offer them your assistance. Transport there immediately. Kilbasa out.
Okay, I'm ready. Energize!
Commander Kielbasa and that other guy look like they're just finishing up a conversation.
Janitor Wilco, Dr. Bellows and I were just talking about you. Please report to Sharpay's quarters, Janitor Wilco. She is in need of someone with your special skill set. Be quick about it.
Yes, sir.
The Ascendo pad works much like an elevator. In fact, if you can figure out why we didn't just call it an elevator, please let us know. These lights illuminate the interior of the shaft, just in case someone falls down it and needs some light to die by. The Ascendo pad slides smoothly along these 4 rails, usually. These hermetically sealed components house the Ascendo pad's direction correction connections, the quark torque fork, and the ascension descension suspension tension extensions. The wall panels of the Ascendo pad are formed from a core of fiber steel between dual layers of expanded polycarbamide sheathing that's guaranteed not to rust, chip, peel, or need repainting for at least 12 millennia. This is probably more than you wanted to know. This hatch is closed, but it opens automatically when the Ascendo pad is on the docking bay level, and there's a vehicle in the bay. Beneath the Ascendo pad, the lift bay relay outlay array quietly does its thing. These hydraulic brakes allow the Ascendo pad to stop smoothly. Note that you can't really see them from where you are, but you somehow sense they're there. Yeah, that's it. You somehow sense that they're there. That's the ticket. From inside the Ascendo pad, you can't reach the lift bay relay outlay array. Heck, you can't even say lift bay relay outlay array. You can't operate these hydraulic brakes manually. You'd shear your hand off into a thin smear of blood, mashed flesh, and pulverized bone. But hey, it's something to think about, right? The Ascendo pad guide rails are, like elementary algebra, beyond your grasp. You can't reach them. You're inside the Ascendo pad, and they're out in the shaft. A feeling not wholly unfamiliar to you. It feels like an elevator. These components are permanently sealed so that clumsy, ham-handed adventurers who like to fiddle with everything won't accidentally kill themselves. Don't distract them. They're holding your life in their hands.
Hi, Drolix.
The lift bay relay outlay array is permanently lubricated. Licking it will not help. It's times like these that we know your elevator doesn't quite reach the top. It's no use screaming for help at a time like this. Nobody cares what happens to you.
Can anyone hear me?
Unfortunately, the player can.
I bid thee open.
If you're going in there, Graham, I'm staying out here. You press the Lab B button, but the Ascendo pad doesn't move. Apparently you need some sort of clearance to get to Lab B.
So it won't open. I didn't want to go to Lab B anyway. Make way, here I come. Janitor second class, Roger Wilco, reporting as ordered, ma'am.
Wilco, you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Mr. Wilco, I expected you here some time ago. I've been kept waiting for minutes now.
I'm very sorry, Matt.
Save the pathetic whimperings for your StarCon superiors, which I would expect includes everyone and everything on the food chain over there.
Ma'am, I came as...
Young man, I lack the time, and most importantly, the patience to indulge you as you whine your way from one excuse to the next. May we please just begin?
Sorry, but I wasn't briefed on what tasks would be required of me.
You are a janitor, Mr. Wilco. What do you think I want from you, a heart transplant? What has become of StarCon? When my fifth husband, Admiral Bluntthang, served, the crop of up-and-coming cadets seemed to have such promise. I recall this one rather striking cadet who... Oh, well, never mind that. But you... I pray you do not typify what might be slithering down the halls of our formerly prestigious academy. That is one thing I do not look forward to witnessing. Get to work, Mr. Wilco. You'll find a mop and a bucket right over there. I have no time to devote to your education. That would take a lifetime, and the most copious amount of patience a universe could muster. My life is soon to expire. Please, just clean. I must rest now.
This is the personal medical suite of the legendary Sharpay. She spends her advancing days here at the ever-expanding retirement complex on Delta Berxalon 5. The wrinkled one rests quietly in her crapomatic adjustable bed. You've seen plenty of these babies in your lifetime.
Mr. Wilco, please rattle the handle on that commode. It is positively maddening.
You got it, right away, ma'am. Whatever I can do.
Please do it, and quietly. I must have my rest.
A porcelainite throne serves as the centerpiece of the bathroom.
Mr. Wilco, it is time for me to take my meds. Please fetch my trisonic sortium from the medicine cabinet.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe I can get this old hag to overdose.
What was that, janitor?
Nothing, ma'am. I'll get those for you right away.
Seems like a few sequels since we've been in any bathrooms. I know what you've been thinking. You're probably thinking, have they waited 4 sequels to do bathroom humor? Or has it been just 3? Well, to tell you the truth, in all the sequel-generating excitement, we've kind of lost track ourselves. So you've got to ask yourself just one question. Are they hard up enough to resort to that level of humor at this point in the game? Nah, not yet. That is, we like to think we've slithered up a fair number of floors from the basement level of the comedic food chain. Either that or it's one of those relative things. Maybe it's because Al just continues to lower the basement. Anyway, what were we talking about? It's a cabinet containing old Sharpay's drugs.
I can't find her medicine. I don't think she knows what she's talking about. Hey, what the?
While we await a fully formed thought from Roger, it should be mentioned that there seems to be some sort of gas entering the room through the left vent.
Hey, there seems to be some sort of gas entering the room through the left vent. I seem to be in a world of deep... Ah, jeez, the door!
You realize your strength alone will be no match for the mechanized door.
Rats, it won't budge. I've got to get out of here somehow. No windows, and the walls are solid bulkhead. And I'm too big to flush myself out of here. This is the only way. What would MacGyver do now?
That's not going to help. Move it, man! You give the piston a yank, and sure enough, it comes loose in your hands. Perhaps it was your raw strength. More than likely, it was defective. It's the Crap-O-Matic adjustable piston. Good thinking! Wedged in the door, the manual override control causes the piston to strain against the door. It pushes a few inches and seems to strain at that point.
Wilco!
Oh, hi, Stellar. What are you doing here?
There's no time to talk, Roger. We've got to get out of here now. 1, 2... 3.
Just as you crash to the floor of the turbo shaft, the hydro riser piston gives way, and the door slams shut, with Stellar still trapped inside. You claw and pull at the seams of the bulkhead door, but to no avail. Just then, you hear and feel an explosion which seems to have come from behind the door. The door is sealed tight. You can hear no other noise after the ear ringing from the blast subsides.
My God! I can't believe this! It can't be happening! She was... I was... Stellar!
It's hard to believe that this is the Hollow Suite. The setting is much like the graphics you've scanned in the library from those planets more interesting in their climatic diversity. From the scenic jutting peaks, soft hills, and lake in the conjured distance to the lush, pixelized growth of trees, flowers, and grass in the foreground, the holodeck has that sublime park-like perfection. Unfortunately, its serene beauty is sadly negated by the headstones and the solemn event about to occur, the laying to rest of your rescuer and true friend, Stellar Santiago. You are feeling as you have never felt before, perhaps helped along by the relatively short stints aboard the various ships, as well as all too brief friendships. You've been spared the emotional devastation of true loss by lack of attachment. This, however, is a different feeling, far different from anything you've ever experienced. You can't help but wonder how you'd act towards Stellar given a second chance, but you know that can never happen. She gave her life for you, and you will never be able to thank her. Enough smarm already. Let's funeral!
Ladies and/or gentlemen, we assemble here today to honor the memory of a former crewmate, Lieutenant First Class Stella Santiago. Her unfortunate death takes place in the shadow of a new community, the dawning of a new life for the aged of our galaxy. Although death is never easy to accept, we must remember that the tragic accident which took her from our midst occurred while she was on duty. If a member of StarCon must perish for some reason, there is no more honorable way. It is part of the oath we recite and take to heart when we pledge our allegiance. I believe her friend, Janitor Second Class Roger Wilco, has a few words he'd like to say. Mr. Wilco?
This setting is idyllic. You know in a place deep inside of you, despite your emotional thickness, that this is what Stellar would have wanted. Geez, the coffin. The true gravity of Stellar's death hits you in the stomach, nearly making you physically ill. It's really true.
I only knew Stellar for a short time. I wish I, could have gotten to know her much better. To have had a deeper understanding of this, person. I was proud to have called friend. Of my friend, I can only say this. Of all the souls I have encountered in my cleaning, hers were the most scuff-resistant.